Have you ever wondered what the most brutal act of revenge in human history would look like? What if I told you there was a woman who killed her own children just to get back at her husband? Or someone who was forced to eat his own son's flesh without knowing it? Would you believe me? Well, let me tell you, all of this actually happened in ancient Greek mythology, and today we're going to explore the top 5 most savage acts of revenge that will give you chills down your spine. Number 5. Poseidon's revenge against King Minos. Many of you are probably wondering how a god would get revenge on a mortal who betrayed them. What if I told you that Poseidon made a queen fall in love with a white bull? Sounds crazy, right? But here's where things get interesting. King Minos of Crete asked Poseidon to send him a beautiful white bull from the sea to use in a sacrifice. But when he saw how magnificent the bull was, he decided to keep it for himself and sacrificed a different bull instead. Now, you're probably thinking, what would Poseidon do about such a small betrayal? Well, let me tell you, the god of the sea wasn't going to let this slide. He cursed Pasiphae, Minos' queen, to fall madly in love with that very white bull. Can you imagine the queen's torment as she struggled with this unnatural obsession? Eventually, she found a way to be with the bull, and the result was the birth of the Minotaur, a half-man, half-bull monster that became the shame of the royal family. But wait, there's more. This wasn't just about creating a monster. Poseidon's revenge was psychological warfare at its finest. He didn't just punish Minos. He destroyed his entire family's honor and created a generational curse that would haunt Crete forever. Number 4. Circe's revenge on Glaucus. But that's nothing compared to what comes next. Have you ever heard of Circe, the powerful sorceress? When she discovered that Glaucus, her beloved, had fallen for the beautiful nymph Scylla, she decided to take matters into her own hands. What would you do if the person you love betrayed you for someone else? Circe chose the most brutal path possible. She poisoned the pool where Scylla loved to bathe. Now, you're probably thinking, what could possibly happen? The transformation that followed was absolutely horrifying. Scylla was turned into a 6-headed monster with razor-sharp teeth, trapped forever in a cave by the cliffs. And here's the most terrifying part. She remained fully conscious and remembered everything. Do you see it? Circe's cruelty wasn't just about killing her rival. It was about making her suffer for eternity, turning her into the very thing that people would fear and flee from. Scylla became a monster that devoured sailors, fully aware of what she was doing, but powerless to stop it. Number 3. Hera's revenge on Leto. Many of you are probably wondering how the goddess of marriage would get revenge on her husband's mistress. But Hera's revenge against Leto was more cruel than anyone could imagine. But here's where things get really dark. When Hera discovered that Leto was pregnant with Zeus's children, she didn't just get angry. She cursed Leto so that no place on earth would accept her to give birth. Can you imagine being a pregnant woman forced to wander the entire world, searching for a place to deliver your babies, only to be rejected everywhere? Leto traveled across the known world, already in labor, but every land, every island, every city refused her entry because they feared Hera's wrath. That's the real question, isn't it? Hera's cruelty wasn't in killing. It was in prolonged psychological torture. Picture this, a woman in excruciating pain, carrying twins, walking for months while contractions rack her body, begging for shelter and being turned away everywhere. Finally, Leto had to give birth on Delos, a floating island that technically wasn't considered land, making it the only place that could accept her without Now you're probably thinking, what could be more cruel than denying a mother a place to give birth? Well, let me tell you the story of Atreus and Thyestes, 2 brothers whose rivalry led to the most horrific act of revenge imaginable. Atreus discovered that his brother Thyestes was having an affair with Ariope, his wife. The rage that consumed him was beyond anything a normal person could comprehend. But here's where things get absolutely sickening. Atreus planned the most diabolical revenge in history. He pretended to forgive his brother and invited Thyestes to a reconciliation feast. What would you do if your brother invited you to dinner after a big fight? Thyestes came with joy in his heart, thinking his brother had forgiven him. But he had no idea what was actually on the menu. Now you're probably thinking, what was this mysterious dish? I need to warn you, what I'm about to tell you is deeply disturbing. Atreus killed Thyestes' 3 sons, then cooked their flesh and served it to their father as the main course. Can you imagine Thyestes' horror when he learned the truth? After the meal was finished, Atreus brought out the heads and hands of the children, revealing what his brother had just consumed. Thyestes collapsed, and when he regained consciousness, he cursed Atreus' bloodline to kill each other for generations to come. But wait, there's more to this nightmare. The curse actually came true. Atreus' descendants, including Agamemnon, were doomed to murder each other in an endless cycle of revenge that lasted for generations. Number 1, Medea's revenge on Jason. Many of you are probably wondering what could possibly be more brutal than making someone eat their own children. But Medea's revenge on Jason transcends every boundary of human cruelty. Medea, a powerful sorceress, had sacrificed everything for Jason, helping him steal the Golden Fleece, abandoning her homeland, even killing her own brother. But then Jason abandoned her to marry Princess Glaucus for political advantage. But here's where things get absolutely horrifying. Medea didn't just get angry. She devised a revenge that would cause Jason maximum suffering for the rest of his life. What would you do if you were betrayed after sacrificing everything? Medea sent a beautiful robe and crown soaked in poison to Princess Glaucus as wedding gifts. Now, you're probably thinking that doesn't sound too terrible, right? But when the princess put them on, the poison began eating away at her flesh. She couldn't remove them. They had fused with her skin. King Creon, her father, rushed to help and was also consumed by the poison. But that still wasn't enough. Do you think that was the end? Not even close. Medea knew exactly what Jason treasured most in the world. Do you see it? Medea murdered her own 2 sons right in front of Jason because she knew that making him live without his children would be the ultimate punishment. Can you imagine Jason's anguish? In one day, he lost his bride, father-in-law, and, most devastating of all, his sons. This is what makes Medea's revenge the most brutal in Greek mythology. It wasn't about killing Jason. It was about making him live with unbearable pain forever, knowing his children died because of his betrayal. And that, my friends, is why these Greek myths continue to haunt us thousands of years later.
So, what do you think? Which of these brutal revenge stories stuck with you the most? Was it Poseidon's twisted curse that created the Minotaur? Circe's transformation of her rival into a monster? Hera's cruel denial of a safe place to give birth? The horrifying cannibalism orchestrated by Atreus? Or Medea's calculated destruction of everything Jason held dear? I want to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me which revenge chilled you to the bone and why. And if you enjoyed diving deep into these dark tales of ancient mythology, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we've got plenty more shocking stories from the ancient world coming your way. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we're uncovering next.